All right. We acquired Ryan Suter. That went well. But now, we look for the big blockbuster that Vegas is known for, damn it. We look at Seth Jones. We look at Patrick Kane. And we say, can we pull this off? Chicago's looking to blow it up. Can we pull this off? They're a terrible team this year. Absolutely terrible. So. In theory, if we were to acquire Seth Jones, I would want the match of moving on from Pietrangelo. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the same deal. Just like I'm still looking to move Martinez. I don't think they'd want either of them. That's not really what they're looking for. In terms of what they would be looking for, well, I mean, a young stud defenseman like Nick Hague. Forward-wise, though, there is the young buck in Brendan Brisson, who could certainly be an interesting one. Would be over the cap, so maybe we have to pull off another trade before we can pull off this one, depending on who I can add in that factors in salary-wise, which honestly really isn't anybody. So I think we'll have to come back to this. We'll have to come back to that. So let's take care of some of our other business first. Shed a little bit of salary. Martinez, you can go. We have Ryan Suter now. Second and a good prospect from the Bruins. Honestly, Jamison Reese isn't that bad. Like Isaac, a second and a fourth. That's not too bad either. So pretty much right now, it's just how good of a prospect can we get. We don't have to screw ourselves on this deal. Kapari, high top six and a fourth. That's not bad at all. Keel Thomas in 2/4. Gallagher and Byron doesn't help our cap clearing issue. Martinez for Josh Anderson, though. Martinez for Josh Anderson. You know? Bernard Docker would be the best prospect to go for. But Josh Anderson, man. How are we going to afford it cap-wise? Don't worry about it. We'll make it work. Shed Cat proceeds to trade for Josh Anderson. The deal is 1-for-1. Alex Martinez for Josh Anderson. Done deal, Montreal. Done deal. Beautiful. Josh Anderson, welcome aboard. Now that's someone you can put on a poster that people will say, I want to see that guy play hockey. Max, thank you for the 14 months. All right. Well, that's one contract gone. Now, let's be honest, Alex Pietrangelo, you left a lovely situation in St. Louis, but you're not really cutting the mustard, are you? You're not really cutting the mustard, Alex. You're not really cutting it. There's someone in Chicago who I think could do a little bit better than you. So Chicago's offering a defensive prospect in 2 seconds. That we won't be able to pass up on. McIsaac 2 seconds, Wallander 2 seconds. The fact that it's Tuomisto in 2/3 makes you think that Tuomisto is better. And it's more fun to take a third rounder. We're going to trade Alex Pietrangelo to the Detroit Red Wings to shed some salary. Petro, get out of here. You just couldn't cut it anymore. Just not good enough. Not what we're You're not helping us accomplish what we're looking to accomplish here in Vegas. So now we're going to go talk to Chicago because they have a true leader Seth Jones that we want for that right-hand side. And they also have Patrick Kane, who again we will be adding that retention back to make sure that we're good in terms of salary. We got to really bolster up this team and go for it. We're the Vegas Golden Knights. We make the playoffs, damn it. Except when we don't, but hush. So defensively, we're looking good. We're looking better. Forward-wise, we got Josh Anderson now. We got Josh Anderson. What do we need a Brendan Brisson for? Chicago would be under the cap. All right, so who else? Who else have I ever made a trade with the AI cap salary? Yes. So they do need a little bit of salary, huh? I can have them retain less for Kane. I can have them retain less for Patty. I don't know how far down the... Oh, you know who we have? We have Brossois. They don't have two goalies. They only have Peter Mrazek. Laurent Brossois is perfect to give them some salary back. Perfect. They'd have too many goalies, so we have to have a goalie in the deal. For some reason, they have Alex Stalock still. Let's take back Stalock. There we go. Now the deal is league approved. So we could give up Brisson. We'll take in Seth Jones to replace Petro. We get Patrick Kane. Sure, we're giving up our top prospect in Brendan Brisson, but what's the worst that could happen? Who needs prospects? We're here to win now. We might even give up Dean or James. You know what we really don't need is a first-round pick, because we're playoff bound. That first-round pick, useless. Absolutely useless, that first-round pick. No doubt. Ooh, Jake McCabe. Do we need a Jake McCabe? I don't think we do. I don't think we need Connor Murphy either. But an Andreas Athanasiou or Max Domi. Yeah, see, 32nd overall pick. It's useless. What if we also pick up a Max Domi? What if we also pick up Max Domi? And we hand you guys... Nolan Patrick could use a good change of scenery. You can retain on Max Domi, too. Make sure you're good to go. In terms of salary. I don't know if we'll be able to pull off the Domi deal. It looks like it's a bridge too far in terms of salary. What if we have you retain a little bit less on Kane to get to where we need to be? Alright, so the Domi deal is not going to happen. Yeah, the Domi deal is not going to happen. Okay. Well, that's alright. That's alright. How far off is this deal? That's my question. How far off? Athanasiou and Domi are too far out of reach. I agree, Jujhar Khaira could work out pretty well for the extra bit of grit. Are we just memeing this? We're fucking winning this is what we're doing. What if we get Chicago to give up like a... I'll throw in Tampa second just to see where we're at trade value-wise. Okay, they'd take that. Maybe we don't give up the first rounder. Would they still take... Oh my god, they take it without the first rounder. Whew, well, we avoided a bit of a disaster there. They would take Brisson and Brossois for Jones, Kane, and Stalock. Wow. I honestly can't believe they'd take that. Especially with Kane on 50% retained. That's tremendous. They desperately want Brendan Brisson. And I don't blame them. Are you willing to give up your own second-round pick to do it? No. Are you willing to give up your own third-round pick to do it? No. Okay, so that deal is really close to even value. Brendan Brisson and Laurent Brossois for Seth Jones, Patrick Kane, Alex Stalock, and a fourth-round pick? Looks like it'll be a fifth or a sixth. We're going to do this. Might even be a seventh at this rate. Brendan Brisson to the Blackhawks. as the Vegas Golden Knights pull off another blockbuster. They've done it again. So our defense now, Theodore, Suter, Jones, Haig, Whitecloud, Stetcher, Ben Hutton. How could you argue with that? Who needs McNabb and Martinez? We got proven winners like Ryan Suter and Seth Jones. Forward-wise, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, let's, hate to say it, Nolan Patrick is the guy to send down for the moment. And let's see what we look like here, shall we? Let's see. So go best lines. Goalie-wise, Thompson and Hutch until we know that Hutch is good enough. So it's Theodore Jones, Whitecloud, Suter, Haig, Stetcher. Honestly, even better is Haig, Whitecloud, Suter, Stetcher. Welcome aboard, Seth Jones. And forward-wise, we make sure we have the proper left wings. Wow, we'll put Riley Smith on the fourth line. So Anderson can play the left, so can Stevenson. Okay, so bump Riley Smith down. Bjugstad with Carrier and Ronberg. Well, we get to deal with that -2 unless we put Kane on a lower line. That's a shame. That's a bit of a shame. We'll put Stevenson there. Swap those. There we go. We'll put Nick Waugh on the fourth line. So Marchessault, Eichel, Kane, Anderson, Carlson, Stone, Stevenson, Bjugstad, Smith, Carrier, Waugh, and Ronberg. Not that I wanted Waugh to be on the fourth line. He's actually got 20 points this year. Obviously, 3C is looking a little bit weak. 3C is looking just a little bit weak. We don't have it totally set up so that people are playing within their roles. But we're close. We are close to that. Stone is actually a legitimate first liner, though. So actually, ooh, maybe move Stevenson or Carlson, get a different 2C, 3C setup. Terrio, you sweet, beautiful man. You are ending stream early tonight, sir. What's up? It's good to see you. All right, I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done. I think we take a little look-ski. Driving to Toronto. Oh, that's right. You're going to that concert tomorrow, right? All right. Yeah, there you go. I saw you mention it on Twitter. Anybody that you know that's going to it? Ooh, Blake Wheeler. Not much of a center. It's a good name, though. Blake Wheeler. Right? Derek Grant. Just for Smoot, bring in Derek Grant. Honestly. How painful would that be for Ducks fans to have to see Derek Grant on Vegas, you know? Nice, Terry. Nice. Well, have fun, man. Get some sleep. Enjoy your day tomorrow. And thank you very much for the raid. Everybody coming over from Terry's. We are using and memeing the Vegas Golden Knights, where nobody is allowed to be on the team for more than 3 seasons, and we will never, ever rebuild. Ever. So right now our team sucks, and we're looking for a way out of it. Is there a way out of it? Don't think so, but we're going to try. We are going to try. Honestly, I got to kind of take inventory of the team again. I got to take a little bit of inventory of the team in terms of our forwards. So in theory, let's say it is, how has Marchessault done this year? He is at point per game, right? Better left wing could work, but let's just say it's Marchessault, Eichel, Stone. And then we have... Yeah, who do we have? Who is going to stay? I don't have the answer to that. I really don't have the answer to that. Alright, again, let's look for big names. We are the big name hunters. We are the Vegas Golden Knights. Okay, nothing else we can do with Chicago because they don't have enough cap space. Jake Voracek would be an interesting little pickup. I have no idea how I'd actually pay him. Dallas immediately put Braden McNabb back out there. Could pick him up on defense. Honestly, Columbus might be our best bet for the moment if we wanted to actually pull off a rather big deal. You do have Gallagher and Donoff that are out there, Hoffman. So Montreal kind of works too. It's not... Like, Brendan Gallagher is a great player. He's not a blockbuster name, though, you know? Same with Nick Hold'em. We had him. We got rid of him for some reason. He's incredibly underrated. And then there was the whole Letang Perry thing, but let's be honest, I don't want to blow up Pittsburgh. I don't want to blow up Pittsburgh like that. Chicago, it's more fun to take Kane away. Alright, I think our roster... Oh boy, that was a hell of a hiccup. I think... Let's see if we have another hiccup coming. I think our roster is set for the moment. For the moment, I think it's set. And we will see if who is on this team and in the current roles that they're in, if this team can perform. Gotta be honest, screw it, Nick Waugh can still be on that third line. Screw it. And we will see if this meme of a team can actually perform and get something done. And if not, then we have the trade deadline, easy for me to say, in about a month. Kane immediately became our top scorer, which is hilarious and also pretty sad. And we're going to see if Hutch is good enough to be the backup here. Seth Jones immediately gets hurt. He'll be out for 2 weeks. Love to see it. So we lose to Pittsburgh. Honest. Ooh, you know, though, I forgot about somebody. Montreal still trying to move Carey Price. Montreal still trying to move Carey Price. And that is the type of name we're looking for. No deal can be found. It might be impossible to pull off without Brisson. Is there a deal? Is there a deal where we could get them to retain for 4 seasons? Really, it's 3 seasons, let's be honest. Is there a way? Is there a way to bring Carey Price to Vegas as our superstar goalie? That is the question. I'm willing to give up this dude that we just drafted. Unbelievable stud. At the same time, we do have like Toy Misto. Oh, that's right, we did just pick up Toy Misto. Montreal would have too many skaters. Let's use someone like Toy Misto that we picked up from Detroit. And then honestly, let's pick up... we'll just pick up this dude. Vegas would have too many players. Okay, so we're going to have to do a skater and a goalie swap. Let's put in Stalock. And they can put in... Let's go with Madison Bowie. No way this goes through, right? Yeah. Obviously, they'd take it. We just got to see if we can somehow hit the value point to where they'd retain. What if we use Tursunbayev, who's not signed? Still no. What if we also use Brabanich? Still no. And what if we use that Detroit second rounder that we picked up? Let's start off with that Detroit third rounder. Nope. All right. What about that Detroit second rounder? Still no. What about the Vegas first rounder? We'll safety net it a little bit. They still won't do it. They still won't do it. What about that and our third rounder? Still no. What about that and our second rounder? Still no. What about that and the Detroit second? Still no. Take out Tursunbayev. Alright, it's literally impossible for us to get Carey Price. We had to try. We had to try. Let's move on. And see if this team can turn it around. 2 losses in a row, not exactly my idea of turning it around. Not the most impressive performance from Hutch, but I can't say it was unexpected. That was a pretty Hutch-like set of performances. How did we get Patrick Kane? We acquired him and Seth Jones, basically, for Brendan Brisson. It was a beautiful time. Let's see. Josh Anderson. His groin. Josh Anderson's poor groin. So that'll get Brett Howden back into the lineup. Of course, we've been playing without Seth Jones this entire time as well. There we go. He's back. So let's get Ben Hutton out of there for Jonesy. Florida. It's a win. Deadline's coming up. We are horrifically outside of the playoff structure. Like, horrifically far out of the playoffs right now. Let's sim this game against the Islanders. We win it 2-0. How far out are we? At 26, 29, and 7. We are 10 points back with the Kraken having 2 games at hand. I think we can make it. I think we can make it. 10 points back at the deadline. We can recover. To the trade deadline we go. We're buyers, baby. This is Vegas. So let's see. Top names available. Letang, Petrie, Rust. Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly. For Seth Jones in the 4th. Akiramaki Stetcher in a 3rd. Done deal. Akiramaki Stetcher in a 3rd for Ryan O'Reilly. Done deal. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Vegas. Ryan O'Reilly. Just like that. We got another all-star center. Let's go. Let's go. Penguins trade Rickard Rakell to Calgary. He wasn't there for long. He wasn't there for long. Ooh, Tarasenko. Okay, no trade for Tarasenko available. All right, that would have been nice, though. Let's go to the Trade Finder. Let's go to the Trade Finder. We'll still take a look around in a minute. Again, defensively, we should be okay. And we technically have one too many top 4 defenders. Bruins just acquired Teddy Bluger. So right D, left D, left D. Is there a market for Nick Hague? I love Nick Hague. He's my boy, but it's all prospects. Barbashev a 2nd and a 3rd. What a terrible trade. What a terrible trade that would be. Well, Barbashev does have 33 assists, so maybe not. Gil Thomas just got dealt for Andreas Athanasiou. Honestly, that bit of extra offense from Barbashev. Who would be our other lefty if Nick Hague were to go? Who would it be? So we'd have Theodore, Jones, Suter, Whitecloud, Hutton on the right, or Hutton is the lefty. Right-hand side could be Korczak, Miromanov. I think we can pull that off. Nick Hague, I love you. I'm trading you for Barbashev, baby. Let's work out another deal with the Blues. So we worked out 2 deals already with the Blues as we continue to shuffle the deck chairs. Our top 4, though, is still pretty solid. 3rd pair, who needs a good 3rd pair? That right-hand side, obviously if we were to have people in their natural positions, it'd be a little bit more difficult. But we know we got Marchessault in the top 6. Honestly, I'm looking at getting rid of Riley Smith or Marchessault. Is there a market for Riley Smith? Because Marchessault actually hasn't been that bad. Is there a market for Riley Smith? Ville Husso. I don't know how the fuck I can afford him. Ville Husso in a third. Aiden Hill in a third. Steve Yzerman signed that contract. He can deal with it. I will trade Riley Smith to the Sharks, though, for Aiden Hill and a third-round pick. I will do that. Riley, have fun in San Jose. We'll do that. So our top 6 in terms of wings are still Marchessault, Stone, Anderson, and Kane, which isn't that bad. And then down the middle, it depends on if we consider Barbashev. We know we got to get rid of Nick Waugh. There's just... Actually, he hasn't been that bad, right? Yeah, he was the one who actually wasn't that bad. So Stevenson technically has to play the second line, which means Marchessault would have to go. Could have Barbashev on the third line. O'Reilly's technically a third liner. Just trying to think. How has Chandler Stevenson done this year? He's been okay. Okay, Barbashev's technically a third liner. It's just Stevenson being a second liner that kind of screws it up. Because we could go Eichel, Stevenson, O'Reilly, or Eichel, O'Reilly, Carlson. Barbashev can be on the third line. So can Nick Waugh, for that matter. Nick Waugh can be on the third line if I get rid of Ronberg. Is there any market there for Jonas? Nick Ritchie. Max Domi. Apparently Chicago can afford it now. I don't really know if that makes the most sense for me to try and get Max Domi all of a sudden. Let me really sort out what I want this team to be and see who we have to get rid of. So let's just say... Are there any of these guys who are shit at face-offs? Eichel's not. O'Reilly's obviously not. Stevenson's at a 78 as well. Carlson's at an 83. Barbashev really should be considered a winger. And so should Waugh. Which means these are, in theory, our centers. Which means somebody has to go. It's either Wild Bill or Chandler Stevenson. What's the market on Chandler Stevenson? Mazar in a third. Alright, there is a pretty good market on Stevenson. Carlson, not as much, but there is a market. Is there a market for both of them? No. At least not at the same time. Oh, let's see. So we go with a third line of Barbashev, Carlson, Waugh. You get Eichel, Marchessault, Stone, Anderson, Kane, O'Reilly. So yeah, Ronberg's, you gotta go, buddy. You're too much of a prospect. You gotta go. Domi definitely doesn't fit the bill. Honestly, draft picks would be the best. Unless Nudivara fits, which he kind of doesn't. Let's take a 4th and a 5th from Dallas. We'll move on from a prospect. Clear out room. We got star players to put into this lineup. Apparently Ryan Johansson was somehow just successfully traded. What the hell? That's 4, 5. Again, Barbashev, Waugh on the third line. Should be okay. 18 and 18. Honestly, what is the market? I'm leaning towards Stevenson just because I want O'Reilly to be on the second line. And if I keep Stevenson, then O'Reilly's going to be on the third line. So Chandler's the guy to move. There are good prospects to get. And it's pretty much going to have to... That might be the worst trade offer I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit. Nope, never mind. That one's worse. Justin Braun in the third. Let's actually get a prospect back here, because, hey, whatever, we're going to flip him anyway. So Pettersson being a high 6 and a 5th is pretty intriguing. Kapari is a high 6 and a 5th as well. So we're looking at Kapari. Johansson's a high fourth and a fourth. It's either Pedersen from Calgary. Let's be honest, the Kings have too much of a log jam, but the Flames could really use someone like Chandler Stevenson. So we'll take that deal for Matthias Emilio Pettersson. So if we look at this team, in theory, it is Marchessault, Eichel, and Stone, with a second line of Anderson, Ryan O'Reilly, and Patrick Kane, and a third line of Barbashev with Carlson and Nick Waugh. All in theory. All in theory. And then we got a lot of guys who are fourth line caliber, apparently. Can I move on from Nolan Patrick for anything? Preferably just picks. A fourth and a seventh seems to be the going rate. We'll send Nolan Patrick to Colorado. Who else do we have here that is worth a fourth? William Carrier seems pretty locked in. How has Brett Howden done this year? He's been absolute trash. Fifth and a sixth from the Avs. Fourth and a seventh from Pittsburgh. We'll send Brett Howden back out east. What else do we got here? We do have some of the kids that could fit in. The only left wing, though, is William Carrier, so he's definitely in. Colasar. Pretty much comes down to Amadio or Bjugstad. Let's go with Bjugstad as the veteran. So Amadio to Seattle for a seventh. Done deal. Which time? It's 9:42. And then pretty much Cotter and Lecition flip for assets that we can then use. I know Domi was being offered. We don't have room for him now because we ended up with Barbashev. Third and a fifth from Colorado. We'll take that for Jake Lecition. And we will also move Paul Cotter for probably a third and a seventh. So we just picked up like every Colorado draft pick. Okay, so now in theory I got my roster the way I want it. I'm playing people within their proper role. That's the big reason for a lot of flipping at the moment, and then obviously kind of going Vegas-esque with flipping a lot of people to begin with. Paulie, what's going on? So aside from that, we could really use third pair defenders, and then there's still the idea of maybe going out and getting a goalie. Jeff Petrie was indeed sold. So let's see. We got 2 hours to try to find an ideal situation here, if we can. Stolars is still out there. Not that he is ideal, but he is still probably better than some of the alternatives like Hutch. Yeah, I do prefer to use the trade block because we can obviously get more value. Craig Anderson was still putting up decent numbers in Buffalo. So we could look at Craig Anderson. Brossois is right back out there for Chicago. We won't do that, though. You got Wedgwood. Again, I highly doubt if Price is still out there that we could pull off anything. Yeah, it's just he makes too much goddamn money. And they won't retain. Semyon Varlamov, I mean, that's a pretty Vegas move to go out and get someone who used to be successful. Cam Talbot. Tristan Jarry. He's got 1 year left on his deal. James Reimer. There are some names. Jarry and Reimer. What would the deal look like for Jarry if there is one? There isn't. San Jose with Reimer? No deal there either. Islanders, what about Varlamov? Nothing. Nothing. And it's got to be cap-related, which is why I'm not exploring these on my own. Honestly, I think we live and die with Logan Thompson at this stage. I think we live and die with him unless we can get Craig Anderson. Nope. Wow. So yeah, our goalie market has kind of dried up. What about even Wedgwood? No one's willing to deal with us, which makes me think we are absolutely screwed cap-wise. Because you know we have the assets. So yeah, I really can't help but think that is a sign that I am really pushing it against the cap here. It doesn't show that we are, though. So, who's to say? But goalie-wise, I'm going to guess we're locked in. And we have... Well, we do have Aiden Hill now, too. I did kind of forget about that. Is there a chance the Angels trade Ohtani? Of course, they're the worst managed team in baseball. Oh, but what about this team? What about that team? Those teams, that team, they don't have Ohtani and Trout, and they're wasting them. So Silverberg doesn't really fit as a third liner. Grant as a fourth liner, we don't really have space for now. I have a pretty specific type of player that I'm looking for, if they're even still available, and I don't think they are. Wow, Arturi Lekkonen's available out of nowhere. That would have been nice to know earlier. Any big-name players that we can just kind of swoop in for at the last minute? That is the question. I'm going to let Andy Green retire in the Devils organization. That's just too perfect. It's too perfect. Honestly, Artem Zub would be perfect. He or Hamonic. I'll remember Ottawa. Ottawa is pretty much perfect. Nudivara is pretty much perfect too. Anything for Marcus Nudivara? No. That sucks. I do like basketball. Not as much as I used to when I was a kid. But I do. Susie for a third and a fourth. We'll take that from Seattle. And again, I still have Ottawa in mind to get another defender. Yeah, we play NBA on stream too, every once in a while. At least one franchise a year. So hold on, really quickly. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Ah! Hitting all the wrong buttons. Running low on time, just don't panic. So Susie was a lefty, righty, so we can do whatever we need to do there. Let's go to Ottawa really quickly. We got 15 minutes to pull off a trade. Can I get Artyom Zub? No, I can't. Can I get Travis Hamonic? Yes, I can for a 4th round pick, so we'll do that too. And with that, we have pulled off one of the most ridiculous deadline days I've ever had, ever. I wasn't really planning on trying to get us into that. Holy shit, I didn't even see that trade. That's absurd. The Yzer plan strikes again. I didn't even try to get us into a situation where we're role compliant. It just kind of made sense to. And yeah, we ended up flipping a lot of players. So, Hutch can be sent down. We have Hill and Thompson as our goalies, and actually we can call Hutch right back up. Defensively, it is now Theodore and Jones, Suter and Whitecloud. Hamonic will likely end up playing with Carson Soucy. And we'll have Ben Hutton as the depth option. And then forward-wise, it's Eichel, Stone, Marchessault, O'Reilly, Anderson, Kane, Carlson, Barbashev, Law, Bjugstad. Pedersen can be sent down. So yeah, Bjugstad, Carrier, and Keegan Colasar. And we'll call up Spencer Fu as our healthy scratch. I'd be over the cap if I did that. I knew we were right up against it. I literally can't call up a healthy scratch forward at this stage. That is how close we're cutting it. 2 +5s, though, for Theodore Jones, Suter, Whitecloud. And Soucy Hamonic's not that bad. A lot of physicality there. Marchessault, Eichel, Stone. Anderson, O'Reilly, and Kane. Barbashev does get him a +5. Technically, I could... no, I couldn't do that, so we won't worry about the +5. But Barbashev, Carlson, Waugh, Carrier, Bjugstad, Colasar. Defensively, like I said, we're good. Kane's kind of the leader on that second power play. Honestly, we got to get Kane on that top power play. Oof. Or do we? Well, then again, it has Travis Hamonic on the power play, for God's sakes. Just noticed that. And pretty much just Theodore and Suter are the two that we're going to want there. So let's have Theodore Suter power play. We got March to Eichel Stone. Who else from that third line? I guess it'd be Watt or Carlson. We might as well have it be Wild Bill. Let's swap Theodore. Yeah, there we go. So Suter will get that top power play time. It's drastically different in series like this, or any of my series. I normally don't have the team change up as much as it has in such a short amount of time, but we're embracing Vegas and everything it has to offer. That was some absolute absurdity. And that is the forward core that we end up with as a result. An entirely new second line. And again, we are 10 points out of the playoffs. I think we're going to make it.